You are entering the AI Data Cloud, where leaders from around the world are connecting and collaborating to shape their industries.
At Fox, my team needs to make sure advertisers can reach the right audiences across our properties. The collaboration with VideoAmp on the Data Cloud has unlocked massive value for us, allowing us to seamlessly build and measure audiences while preserving privacy.
These teams use our Snowflake native clean room here at VideoAmp to do groundbreaking work that's at the forefront of media measurement, currency, and optimization.
Our team is able to seamlessly run sophisticated ML workflows with collaboration across Paramount, Snowflake, and VideoAmp.
At LSEG, our collaboration with My Data Outlet enables clients to seamlessly integrate our data into their workflows.
With this acceleration, clients like Pack Square are unlocking innovative new approaches to investing.
With London Stock Exchange data and My Data Outlet's native app, we are able to rapidly develop models all within the data cloud.
By building Aladdin Data Cloud on Snowflake, an investment manager's entire data estate can now be seamlessly connected in one place.
At IQVIA, we leverage Snowflake's Data Cloud to provide critical data and analytics capabilities to industry leaders.
And deliver it right into their environment without the data even having to move.
Easily create a curated view from a variety of different sources.
Across industries and around the world, we're building the future together. Join us in the AI Data Cloud. Please welcome Snowflake Chief Executive Officer, Sridhar Ramaswamy.
Good morning, folks. I hope all of you had a wonderful evening. I left our session yesterday super excited by what Jensen said. Wasn't that an amazing conversation? Welcome to day 2 of Snowflake Summit. We have an action-packed day ahead of us. Yesterday, we talked about the era of enterprise AI and our vision for the company and our ecosystem. Today, you're going to hear all about the platform. The AI Data Cloud is the platform for enterprise AI. It makes AI easy, efficient, and trusted. We're going to share how we're innovating for you. I've mentioned before that we have permanently accelerated our pace of our delivery, and that'll be clear today. Christian, our head of product, will share our large investment areas, and you will see a ton of new announcements in important areas like performance, governance, DevOps, and of course, generative AI. And what would product announcements be without the thrill of live demos? It's going to be great fun, and I'm going to make way for them very, very soon. But first, I want you to hear from our founder, Benoit, about why Snowflake has the best architecture for enterprise AI. Let me start on a personal note. I met Benoit and Thierry, our founders, for the first time roughly last year in March. Our first meeting was supposed to be an hour long. It became 3 hours long, and they kept peppering us at Neeva with all kinds of questions about how and why we had built Neeva. They were incredibly generous with their time after our teams merged. I met Benoit every week. Of course, I realized super quickly that Benoit and Thierry could be anywhere on the planet doing anything. But they showed up at work every day, doing positively dangerous things like riding a motorbike to work. I was like, ugh. They work really hard. And they were really passionate about Snowflake. They also embodied a particular design philosophy that technology should serve, that it should be simple, that it should be efficient. And it's that direction that Benoit and Thierry set on the first day of the company, and it continues today. And this is why Snowflake is not 20 different products with separate data stores and governance. It's one product It's not 4 separate engines. It's one unified engine for all languages and all runtime needs. And in every announcement you'll hear today, you're going to get simplicity. Whether it's Gen AI, or MLOps, or notebooks, you know that every one of our innovations is deeply integrated with ease of use and governance built in. And this is why you can count on us as a partner, and why Snowflake is the best platform for enterprise AI. I could not be more proud to have a colleague like Benoit. He literally sits in front of my desk on the other side in a queue at Snowflake. Benoit embodies all there is to love about Silicon Valley. Hard work, a thoughtful and opinionated design philosophy, humility, humanity, and service. Please welcome the co-founder of Snowflake and president of product, Benoit.
Thank you, Sridhar, for this kind words. You are too nice to me, really. Wow. Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us at Snowflake Summit. So whether you are new to Snowflake or have been with us the entire journey, I am so grateful that you are here today. So Sridhar just shared with you the vision of how Snowflake will really empower everyone, every user in the enterprise with data and AI. And we do this by becoming really the modern cloud operating system for building and running AI applications. Today, I'd like to get geeky with you and share why I strongly believe that Snowflake architecture is really the best one to power all your AI applications. And when you think about a platform for AI applications, there are really 5 critical pieces. First, of course, data. After all, enterprise AI is only as good as the data foundation it is built on. Second, an elastic, on-demand compute for both CPUs and GPUs, enabling you to easily build and run any workload. Third, access to world-class models in a serverless fashion, optimized for efficiency. Fourth, unified security and governance at really every layer. And this is critical. We are talking about AI for your enterprise, not AI for planning your next vacation. Fifth, the ability to share and access AI models and apps, not only within your organization, but also cross-cloud, cross-region, and even cross-org. So let's dive in now, starting with data. Our platform is data complete. First, you can work with all types of data, structured, semi-structured, and unstructured data, like text, PDFs, images, video, and audio. Second, with Unistore, you can unify your transactional and analytical data. And third, with Snowflake native support of Iceberg, you can process data in open table formats. But what is really impactful is not just that you can store and process all types of data. It is how easy Snowflake makes it. For example, building full data pipelines across both structured and unstructured data in a continuous and incremental way. Like, for example, when we recently helped a customer create AI chatbots to directly interact with tons of raw video files. In just few hours, this customer created a data pipeline that streams the video data through an ML running inside Snowflake on GPUs. And that model generated transcriptions that were then stored in a Snowflake table, indexed with Cortex, and surfaced through a Streamlit app. And this entire data pipeline doesn't require managing or configuring a single server or even worrying about integrating multiple systems together. It is all seamlessly powered by the Snowflake AI Data Cloud. So not only Snowflake is data complete, but Snowflake is also compute complete. Our compute layer provides on-demand access to CPUs and GPUs through two complementary features, the Snowflake Data Flow Engine and Snowpark Container Services. Our data flow engine provides both elasticity and efficiency built for the cloud. It separates not just storage from compute, but also, more importantly, compute from compute. And this enables you to independently scale your data processing workload while operating against the same data, paying only for what you consume. And contrary to common misconceptions, Snowflake did not originate as a SQL engine. From its inception, and you can trust me, I was there, Snowflake data processing was built on an extensible and highly efficient data flow engine. SQL is really just one of the many ways to express data flow computation. We then added Snowpark to give you the ability to leverage the exact same underlying engine using Python, Java, Scala data frames. And no wonder we immediately were often orders of magnitude faster than anything else on the market. And that price performance is possible because we have spent the last decade investing in optimizing our data flow engine. But Snowflake Compute is not only about offering the best data flow engine to process data at scale. With the addition of Snowpark Container Service, you can now deploy basically any containerized services within the Snowflake AI Data Cloud. And this opens up so many new use cases, like, for example, running custom front ends for your AI apps, or even doing distributed ML training, or hosting open source LLMs. And you can access GPUs on demand. Consistent with our original design, this expanded range of compute capabilities operates against the same governed and secure data, which is at the core of the AI Data Cloud. So we've talked about data and compute. Now, let's talk about the actual models you need. As an enterprise, there are new models coming out all the time, which is why we have strong partnerships with NVIDIA, Mistral, Meta, Reka, and more. But we also see gaps in the market that we really want to fill. For instance, you need models developed specifically for complex enterprise workloads like SQL code generation and instruction following. This is where Arctic comes in. Arctic is a family of enterprise-grade models developed by Snowflake. This includes embedding models that excel in retrieval use cases, but also a general-purpose LLM that exhibits top-tier intelligence in enterprise tasks. As you can see, compared to other models in its class, Arctic is really competitive. Also, Arctic general-purpose LLM is the most open enterprise-grade LLM on the market. And finally, our world-class team of AI researchers designed it to use a unique dense mixture of expert hybrid architecture, which makes it incredibly efficient. So, whether you look at training or inference, indeed, we are using far fewer tokens and parameters than LLMs from Grok and DBRex. And as you can see, I am so excited about Arctic that I really hope you are too. So, as everything from Snowflake, we really want to combine maximum efficiency with extreme simplicity. With Cortex, you have the ability to not only use large language models for inference, but also specialized task-tuned models for things like classification, translation, extraction, and sentiment detection. These models are optimized for performance and efficiency and are delivered serverlessly, so you don't need to worry about the infrastructure or the complexity. So now let's talk about security and governance. AI is incredible because it allows everyone to talk to their data and software in a way that previously only developers could. And this is amazing, right? But it also can mean more security risk and looser governance of enterprise data. With Cortex, you don't need to make those trade-offs because your team can access leading models without moving or allowing external systems to access your data. And the same applies if you are using an open source model running in Snowpark container services. Snowpark is designed for security with both cluster and compute pool isolation. And we automatically spin up a private cluster for each account and employ various techniques to isolate individual customer clusters from one another at the network level. Additionally, each compute pool in a customer account is completely isolated from other compute pools, and traffic has to go through a private control plane in the customer account where it can be monitored. This means that developers can isolate different workloads even within the same account. This is pretty cool, huh? And lastly, thank you. What is the fun of AI without the ability to share it? Applications are the way you make data and AI actionable. Snowflake is really the only platform where you can securely share data, models, and AI apps across clouds and regions. Indeed, with Snowflake native app, you can access incredible apps from our marketplace to run directly in your accounts. No more data movement required. Instead, these powerful apps are coming to your data. For example, you can use Landing AI Snowflake native app to do vision processing, or Relational AI app to do AI co-processing, and again, all within your account. Apps don't just extend what is possible for the AI in the AI data cloud, but also who can benefit from data and AI. Sales, marketing, finance, HR teams, and beyond can now put data and AI at the heart of their work. Data, elastic compute, world-class AI, security, collaboration. This is what makes Snowflake the best platform for AI applications. And I will close with a question that Thierry and I get all the time. What are you most excited about? While obviously, as you can see, I am excited about what we are building, I am even more excited about what you will build. And with Snowflake, the technology is really no longer the limit. Your imagination is. So please, go harness the power of the AI Data Cloud to build amazing apps. And as Christian will show you now, the latest capabilities of the AI Data Cloud makes this even easier than ever before. So thank you all, and enjoy the rest of the week with us. Bye. Christian.
Please welcome Snowflake Executive Vice President of Product, Christian Kleinerman.
Hello, Snowflake Summit. How's it going? Anyone excited? Only a few people. Anyone excited? thank you, a sincere thank you for coming, joining us at this event. We love the opportunity to be together, and we all can learn from one another. By the way, isn't this a beautiful setup? Yes! I'm told everyone, every seat has an amazing experience. Can anyone in the back confirm that you're having a great experience? Okay, we want to share many of the innovations that our team has been working on. Our single goal at Snowflake with the AI Data Cloud is to help you get more value out of your data and help you achieve the goals for your company faster, better, and of course, leverage trends like artificial intelligence. Today, I want to take you on a journey. We'll have 3 stops on that journey. First one is around strengthening your data foundation. We can talk about applications, as Benoit just did. We can talk about artificial intelligence, but everything starts with a strong data foundation. Then we will talk about applications, and then, of course, we will talk about AI. So let's get started. On the topic of strengthening a data foundation, we want to make sure that data is on your terms. And that has many aspects to it: the type of the data, the nature, the latency. So let's start with type of data. Snowflake started with structured and semi-structured data, and it's been years ago that we added support for unstructured data. It is no secret that the vast majority of data in the world is unstructured, and AI presents an opportunity for all of us to get more value out of it. We have thousands of customers, many of you in the room, that are already leveraging Snowflake for getting value out of unstructured data. Whether it's documents, images, text, our goal is to make it easier for you to get value out of that unstructured data. And this is where Document AI fits in. Document AI is a very simple to use solution where we will help you use natural language to ask questions of documents and be able to extract structured data. And furthermore, you are able to give feedback on the quality of those answers to Document AI. We have the ability to fine-tune those models and make sure that the models get better and better for your use case, and very important, with safety, governance, trustworthiness of that data is only for your use. We have an example of an early adopter of Document AI. Northern Trust receives thousands of documents, and they process them for a number of workflows and activities, and what used to be primarily a manual task has now been augmented and dramatically optimized and simplified with Document AI, and they get more time to focus on what to do with the inside of those documents as opposed to processing the documents. Document AI is powered by our own model. It's a multimodal model. We call it Arctic Tilt. Interestingly enough, and you heard Benoit talk about this, and Sridhar talked about it yesterday, it's a very small model. It's less than 1 billion parameters. And yet, it has the top score in the visual question and answer benchmark, which says when we talk about enterprise AI, is this type of stuff. How do we give you the best results with the best efficiency and implication, the best economics? And the best news of all of this is this world-class model is available to all of you. I am delighted to announce that Document AI will be very, very soon generally available. But we also heard feedback that I want my experience to ask questions from documents also integrated with my overall Snowflake infrastructure. In particular, my ingestion pipeline, the common use case is I have some unstructured documents and I want to ingest them, and as part of that ingestion, extract fields that matter to my organization. That's what we've enhanced our ingestion capabilities, the copy command in particular, to have file processors. And the first file processor that we have is a document AI integration. So you'll be able to take documents, pass them through copy, and you get structured data on the other end to be able to answer questions. And this is now in public preview. But it's not just about the type of the data. Also, as Benoit said, data moves, there's flow, there's pipelines. So a lot of you spend a decent amount of energy just moving data back and forth. And for us, it's very important to make sure that you don't have to make technology choices or skill choices on whether it's streaming or it's batch. Our goal at Snowflake is to give you the exact same programming model, the exact same infrastructure and skills, and it's your decision on what do you want on a fresher cycle, what do you want on a higher lag or higher latency cycle. For years, we've had Snowpipe for ingestion. We introduced Snowpipe streaming to have lower latency in ingestion that went generally available earlier this year. And we have an example of this company, Woodside Energy. What they're doing is amazing. You can read the numbers yourselves. 1.5 million rows per second ingested into Snowflake, and the latency to make the data available is 2 seconds, and the latency to get it transformed is less than 10 seconds. That's pretty impressive. Hopefully better than what most of you need. Speaking of transformation, you can ingest data with Snowpipe streaming, but also you can transform it seamlessly with Snowflake. That's why we introduced dynamic tables, which gives you a declarative programming model. You say, this is the transformation I want, and Snowflake will identify changes to the sources and incrementally process it. This may be one of the most popular capabilities we've launched at Snowflake. You can see the stats, more than 230,000 tables, more than 3,000 customers, so I'm sure many of you are using it, and if you're not, go figure out what's stopping you, because there's value and simplicity waiting for you. And I am thrilled to share with all of you that dynamic tables are now generally available as well. But you also have told us that Snowflake is very good at, you give us a command and we go and make it run as fast as we can. But that's not what you need all the time. So occasionally, you want it to run fast, but you may have flexibility on the SLA on your side. And if you have flexibility on the SLA on your side, and you tell us about it, we have flexibility in how we schedule the commands, and we can give you better economics. That's why today we're introducing Serverless Tasks Flex. Yeah. Which is exactly that ability for you to specify a window. When do you need this to be run by? We will use that additional room to schedule when it's best and most cost effective, and we'll pass on savings for you up to 42% relative to just regular serverless tasks. It was here, San Francisco, 5 years ago at Snowflake Summit, where we said, with Snowflake, we give you flexibility on architecture. If you want to do a data warehouse, you can. If you want to do a data lake, you can. And of course, things have evolved. There's the merging of those. There's the lake house. There's data meshes. And our perspective is we want to give you choice. We want to fit the architecture that you have in mind. And this is where open file formats and open table formats fit in. Many of you said, I would prefer if the actual data that is managed and governed by Snowflake sits in my cloud storage, and I am able to secure it and maybe connect with other tools, maybe Spark. That's why we introduced Iceberg tables. It has two modes: Snowflake Manage, when The coordination of reads and writes happens with Snowflake, and also externally managed if you just want to connect with data that is being managed by another engine. And when Sridhar told you that we have a long list, an avalanche of capabilities coming and generally available, he was not kidding, because I'm also super excited to announce that today, Iceberg tables are generally available in all clouds. But for those of you that wanted to be able to have the data in open file formats and open table formats and be able to use different tools, the problem didn't end up there. At some point, the question comes in, how do I track my tables? How do I know what's where? And it turns into a catalog question. And in many ways, it pushes the problem of the potential interoperability to a different layer. And that is why we were very excited yesterday to share with all of you the introduction of the Polaris catalog. Yeah, okay, I'll take it. Sridhar covered it. It's based on Iceberg REST APIs. We want to lean in on a table format that is gaining adoption and momentum. We have a Snowflake hosted version of the Polaris catalog, and of course, it has a very tight interoperability with Snowflake. But we also want to ensure interoperability with other engines. And as Sridhar mentioned, we're committed to open sourcing this so you can host it on your own, or many of our partners can host it as well. Which brings me to partners. Sridhar shared this list of companies that are sharing with us the excitement on the catalog. You don't see the names in this slide frequently agreeing on topics. And the conversation on, do we want to interoperate and give you all empowerment and choice, was a very fast conversation, and we're very excited about the ecosystem. There's one company missing there, and there's news this morning that they've seen the light and they want to do Iceberg as well. But the best way for you to see and hear how our partners think about it is to hear from one of our closest partners. Our relationship with Microsoft dates years back, and I'm very excited to be able to welcome on the stage CVP of Azure Data, Arun Ulag. Welcome, Arun.
Thank you, Christian. It's really good to be here. I love the energy.
Awesome to see you. Thank you for being here. You and I were actually sharing the stage at Microsoft's Build Conference 2 weeks ago. Why don't you recap for folks, what did we announce, what did we share there?
Yeah, happy to. So we announced a major expansion of our partnership. Last year, we launched Microsoft Fabric, which is the new data and AI platform from Microsoft. And for those of you who don't know, Fabric gives you everything you need to go from raw data to AI and BI value in the hands of your business users. And at the heart of Fabric is OneLake. And OneLake is a SaaSified data lake that is just built into Fabric. And with OneLake, we natively embraced open source data formats. So all of the structured data in OneLake, whether it's from your data warehouse, Power BI, real-time, et cetera, is natively sitting in Apache Parquet and Delta Lake. So what we announced a couple of weeks ago is, first, as Microsoft is expanding our support, in addition to Delta Parquet, we're also adding Apache Iceberg support. And then you announced that you're announced as supporting OneLake as a native store for Iceberg tables in Snowflake. And what's really exciting about it is now the integration is bidirectional. Any of the Snowflake data that shows up in OneLake automatically lights up the Microsoft ecosystem. That's Power BI, that's Teams, that's Excel, that's Azure OpenAI, and vice versa. All of the data in OneLake is now queryable through Snowflake.
Yeah, so we're incredibly excited, and the North Star for us is those of you that have chosen to leverage Microsoft's technologies and Snowflake technology, we want to make sure that we work well together. Can you share a little bit more how you're thinking about Iceberg, table formats, and of course, the Polaris catalog?
Yeah, we really believe that for customers to have a strong data foundation, which is really the heart of your AI journey, interoperability is key. And that is why Microsoft has really leaned into all of these open source technologies. Whether it's Delta Lake, Apache Iceberg, Xtable, all of these technologies are now core to what we are doing here in Microsoft. And we love what you guys are doing with the Polaris catalog because it takes it a giant step forward. It makes sure that even the catalog is interoperable, it's open source, and all of the data can just work together.
Yeah. So we're very excited about the partnership. Polaris Catalog, we want it to be an ecosystem effort. The partnership with Arun, Raghu, and others at Microsoft has been phenomenal, and we look forward to continuing to partner with you. Thank you for being here.
Likewise. Thank you so much, Christian. Thank you.
Give it up for Arun. So that wraps up the part of data in your terms, flexibility of types, formats, architecture. Let's now talk about data governance. Because, okay, you have data, but you need to be able to govern data. And that's one of the big reasons to have data in Snowflake. And that is the role of Snowflake Horizon, which is the unified solution to help you govern and discover your assets. And we have a number of pillars, and we'll cover some enhancements and innovations that we have in this area. Snowflake Horizon has capabilities for everyone in the org, whether it's a data steward and help you govern and set policies, but also for data teams. How do I discover what's available? Let's start with the access pillar of Horizon. And one of the key things is, how do I find what's already in my organization? Right? This is why I want to talk about universal search. I don't want to have one search bar for tables and another one for notebooks and another one in the marketplace. How about one search bar that helps you find everything? And universal search is now going generally available. We're also excited to introduce today an internal marketplace. So we introduced the Snowflake Marketplace years ago. And even though many of you use it today and get a lot of value, one of the most common requests is like, I want all of this curated with sample queries and descriptions for my data, for my organization, and that is where we're delivering. It's entering private preview, and we're going to move it as fast as possible to make it available to all of you. Very exciting. And for those of you that have used the marketplace, that know you have to import it and create a database, and there's some friction, we're in the business of removing friction. Everything where we see friction, we just go and take it out as much as we can. So we're introducing today the concept of uniform listing locators, which is, think of it as a URL in the AI data cloud. If you have a listing or a data set that you like in the internal marketplace, you can plug in that URL in your query, and you can just start querying data and leveraging work from others in your team, others in your company, in a more seamless fashion. And the last piece to help things like search and discovery is having good metadata and good descriptions on objects. And we're leveraging Snowflake Cortex to be able to help you have good object descriptions in Snowflake, whether it's for a table, for a column, etc. The best way for you to understand and see all of this come together is through a demo. So how about we welcome Dash onto the stage. Welcome, Dash. Actually, not to the stage. He's there. Take it away, Dash.
How exciting is this? Let's go. So check this out, Christian. I'm on our internal marketplace, and I can see the data, apps, and AI models in one place right here. Here's a Snowflake native app that our marketing intelligence team has created. And here's a model that our data science team has created. Now, all these users use their own accounts. I can also see things that are outside of Snowflake. For example, this customer usage and support. The data for this actually lives in S3 in open Iceberg format. Amazing. Now, it's all here ready for me to start working with. Yes, I don't have to worry about what regions they live on. It's all right here. Now, if you're like me, I forget things sometimes. I don't know what they're called. I don't know what to look for. That's where universal search shines. Let's see how. All I have to do is type in a few search keywords. For example, usage patterns. And everything that's relevant to this or these keywords appear right here. documentation, data, model, even things outside of Snowflake. For example, this customer table right here, usage patterns. That was my bad. Here we go. I have access to everything I need to know about this table. I can also see that I don't have access to some of the information in this table. Now, since this data is new to me, I don't exactly know everything about it. So what I can do is actually use Snowflake Copilot as it understands the semantics of the data. Let's see how that works. Since this is telco, let's ask how many users are on family plan, okay? Now, this is a huge time saver. I get what I need without putting our data at risk. It is just so easy. I have the SQL and also the result that was executed automatically. Yes? Thank you.
Awesome, right? And hang in there, Dash. I wanted to show something else in a second.
Okay.
One of the aspects about governance is also helping you know your data. Sometimes, before you even talk about policies and permissions, is what data do I have? And a big initiative for us is to focus on data classification, which is how we run a classifier and help you know, is this an email address, or is this sensitive data, or this is quasi-sensitive data? So today, we're excited to share with you the introduction of a brand new Snowside interface for data classification. You're going to be able to specify properties at the schema level, and we'll help you classify, we'll help you show you sample values, and all of this is just to, again, simplify the task of understanding data. But our classifiers will not always know about what matters to you. So today we're also introducing custom classification, where you can specify rules that help you identify something that is unique to your company or unique to your industry. We're also announcing, by popular request from many of you, automatic classification. You don't want to have to remember that, oh, someone created a table and we didn't classify it, so we missed it. You can specify, as new objects are created, what's the frequency for classification and what is the frequency for reclassification. And last but not least, all of this classification and all the governance gets complicated when people start copying data. So I'm very, very excited to share that we're also introducing automatic tag propagation. What does this mean? There may be some tags that in your organization you say, these ones are really important, this is going to be sticky. And if anyone copies data via CTAS or a dynamic table or creates a view, the tag gets propagated, and you will know your data at all points in time. And last in this section is the topic of object insights. We've added a UI to show you not only information on classification and objects, but also help you understand usage, help you surface dependencies. And this is where I wanted Dash to show it to you. Take it away, Dash.
Happy to. So I've got two things to show you. The first is how we're making it easy to understand usage. In the governance tab, I can see everything I need to know about this table, right from top queries being run against the table, as well as who's accessing this, not just users, but also roles. I can also see upstream and downstream lineage for this table. With Horizon, it helps with a big challenge. I know all of us have faced this before, getting the right description for data to be discovered. With Horizon, we're letting AI help with that. With the AI-powered object descriptions feature, all I have to do is go on to this table details tab and click on Generate with Snowflake Copilot link. Now, the AI is inspecting the table and generating a description on the fly. I can either modify it, or what do you think, Christian? Looks good?
That's super cool. Looks good. Accept it.
Awesome. Boom. How cool is that?
Woo! Thank you, Dash. Let me move on to a separate pillar of Horizon, which is security. And this has been North Star. We can ask Benoit and Thierry. Day one, we're focused on security. And not only we've done a lot to secure the platform, but we want to help you secure your configuration of Snowflake. And that's where we introduced Trust Center. Central place for you to monitor security, compliance controls, best practices, quantify risk. Things like how many account admins you have, or how many accounts you have with access to sensitive data that have no MFA controls. Please go look at Trust Center and at least understand where you are and take action. But also, we are very excited to share that Trust Center is also entering the process to be generally available soon. And another pillar is compliance. We do a lot of work for us to be compliant and get certification, but we also want to help you be compliant. And high on that list is the topic of data quality. I don't know how you manage data quality, but there's a lot of work that goes into checking for conditions. That's where we have a data quality capability built into Snowflake. You'll be able to have built-in conditions, custom functions. Snowflake will enforce it for you. And best of all, this is also generally available. Data lineage. Do you want to answer questions on where data came from, or where is it going, what's feeding to what, dependencies? Available in Snowflake, in public preview. But we've also not stopped there, and we've expanded it to include ML lineage. You're going to be able to see this data went into this feature, this went into a data set, it went to an ML model. All in all, Horizon is the most comprehensive solution to help you govern your data. We understand that it's an imperative and a priority for you to understand your data and be able to have policies and controls, and we'll continue to innovate to make it easier and easier for you. Let's talk about performance controls, which is another important aspect. We are frequently, constantly investing in performance for making Snowflake faster for all of you. And we do those upgrades transparently for all of you. I don't know how many of you still plan weeks down of outages to deal with upgrades. That doesn't exist. We just make it faster, and your users will say, hey, things are getting better. But most important, how do I know and how do I quantify that that performance is helping you? That's why we introduced the Snowflake Performance Index. And since the index was introduced, we've improved 27%. This is in August 2022. And in the last 12 months, we've improved 12%. And this is an apples-to-apples comparison of some of your workloads. This is not a benchmark. Your workloads getting faster, and by implication, faster also means cheaper or more economic. But you can ask, OK, I don't know about this Snowflake aggregate. I want to do it for my organization. We're also introduced a UI in Snowflake for you to see your usage, your cost allocation, define, track budgets, get insights, and we will give you recommendations. All in all, we innovate a lot to help you have a strong data foundation. And before we go into talking about applications or AI, I want to share with you the story of one of our customers that's doing pretty incredible things. This is Siemens, and I would like to welcome on the stage Dietmar Mausberger of Siemens. Welcome, Dietmar.
Wenn Siemens wüsste, was Siemens weiß. It's a beautiful German phrase. It's frequently used in our company, and it translates to something like, if Siemens only knew what Siemens knows. And it captures a very, very powerful idea. It's about unlocking the potential of our collective knowledge that we have within our company. making the implicit knowledge really explicit, accessible to everyone. And we have accumulated a lot of knowledge. Let's take a journey through time. Siemens was founded in 1847, and we were at the forefront of industrial revolutions. We shaped electrification and automation. Now we're shaping the fourth industrial revolution, digitalization. And 2024 for us is a turning point because the digital and the physical world merges. It's allowing us to design our products faster and better than ever and build technologies much faster than we could do before. Imagine Siemens as a global powerhouse. We are 311,000 employees in 15 core business units, serving more than 1.5 million customers with more than 1.3 million different products, and that in more than 170 countries. And this is from high-speed trains to electrical switches. Our technologies are very often hidden behind the scenes. Like, for instance, in this room, the electrical breakers and the air conditioning is run by Siemens technology. Across the city, if you took the commuter train to work this morning, the Muni and the Caltrain, Siemens technology is at work. We are transforming the everyday for everyone. But with such vast enterprises come a lot of challenges. So we built legacy data systems over 18 years, and we invested a large triple-digit million amount of dollars into that. We had 750 different data projects, all intertwined, serving tens of thousands of data consumers with roughly 45 terabyte online data that we kept at all time. And that legacy created a lot of complexity for us, scalability issues, and cost. So we were in a need for a really bold move. But there was no hard evidence that it's actually going to work. So we invited big tech, says, let's give it a try. And they tried, and they failed. Working with Snowflake actually gave us the confidence, and we decided to build, together with Snowflake, the Siemens Data Cloud. We stopped this analysis paralysis and just did it. We stuck our neck out, convinced that our team and the team of Snowflake can actually pull that through. We got the support from the board and made sure that the teams on the ground are with us and will follow us on this path. And so we took 3,500 people along with us to our own Siemens Data Cloud University. Also, big thanks to our partners, Accenture and DBT, who joined us on that journey. And we completed the migration without any additional budget. We put a CR freeze in and redirected everything to build new and great stuff. And today, we have 9,930 users online. Roughly 3,000 of them are human beings. 10 million queries a day, 9 terabytes of transformation, serving more than 1,000 individual projects, and providing data for more than 85,000 data consumers within the company. Security and governance is very important to us. We need to make our data secure. And we actually we achieved to be the first internal solution within Siemens that could comply to the highest security standards that we have. During this journey of migration, we had quite a number of interesting learnings. For instance, our finance community. They're running a very large data model, around 4.3 billion rows. It's around performance controlling of that complex business models that we have. And if you look at today, we run that model at a like-for-like comparison on compute at a 99% reduction of cost. I mean, it's insane. The actual figure is 99.98%, but no one believes me that anyway. And today, all processes have their data in the data cloud. So here I stand today after an epic tech marathon of 18 months, and the results, for us, they are spectacular. But that's just the beginning. Our data appetite is actually growing. Let me share one project that is very important to us. We call it our installed base, our iBase. Siemens produces around 150 million products a year that we would like to stay in touch. We're shifting from building and shipping products and relying on stable operations, sometimes for decades. Our products run on very long cycles. We want to stay connected to them. We want to unlock the value that the data creates, that these products actually produce, for our digital twins, for planning maintenances, and for better feature development for our customers. We use Mendix, our own low-code software, to build smart apps, for instance, generate actionable insights, to execute them directly on our ERP systems. And Mendix uses the scalability, the governance, and the trust that the Snowflake platform provides us. And we are very happy also to announce an official partnership between our Mendix software business and Snowflake to actually take this journey together. So Snowflake is really at the heart of our transformation. Now follow me to the future. Generative AI, of course, was something we early explored with more than 450 different use cases that we looked into. And we quickly realized that generating poems, travel plans, or recipes are no real use for our engineers. Our engineers need very precise answers. So we need to reduce hallucinations to an absolute minimum. And this is where the Siemens Data Cloud actually intersects with generative AI. Everything can now be integrated. The collective knowledge of our company, customer insights, and critical information. So the physical and digital world merges and converges with generative AI. For us, this is monumental. We can now conceive cases that we could have never thought of before. Leveraging Snowflake to fully unlock the potential of our data, driving innovations, efficiency, and growth to make Siemens more agile, more insightful, and more connected than ever before is something that we really appreciate. And today we are closer than ever to truly know what Siemens knows. Thank you.
Thank you, Dietmar. Quite compelling what Dietmar and the team are doing at Siemens. Let's talk now about applications. Our goal is to accelerate the time to value that all of you achieve when you're building apps. And apps can be, you're building on Snowflake for external users, but many of you are also building for within your company. And we want to make it easier for all of you. And we want to help you build faster. And when we say build faster, we also are referring to every aspect of the development life cycle, whether it's presentation, logic layer, business logic, or how data is stored in persistence. So let's talk about first about the presentation. And this is, of course, where Streamlit comes in as a framework. It's an open source Python framework. It lets you create beautiful interactive experiences. The open source project has over 300,000 developers. And we've taken Streamlit and seamlessly hosted inside of Snowflake on what we call Streamlit in Snowflake. And that also has amazing momentum. We have over 4,000 customers, many of you here, that are already leveraging Streamlit in Snowflake. And earlier this year, it went generally available on all 3 clouds. And the innovation on Streamlit does not stop. We continue making the framework better, whether it's the ability to do chatbots, which are important these days, or modal dialogues, or selection in charts, editable data frames. We will continue to innovate in this entire spectrum of the framework. But we also have the business logic layer, and we want to make it easier for you. This is what we introduced Snowpark a few years ago, secure hosting of Python, secure hosting of Java. We have a number of libraries, the Snowpark API, the data frame, Snowpark ML APIs. And we also introduced Snowpark Container Services, which gives you access to more flexible compute, instance flexibility, and GPU support. I want to take a moment and say thank you to all of our partners that are building amazing solutions and integrations on Snowpark Container Services. Benoit talked about how this is the foundation of a lot of the innovation that we had not even thought of. Many of you are going to take that, so thank you. And also, it's with incredible excitement that I share that Snowpark Container Services is also now generally available. I need to caveat it. It's generally available on AWS, and it's public preview on Azure, and we're going to move it as fast as possible to all 3 clouds, just so that you don't say I'm spreading misinformation. But now let's talk about the persistence layer. This is where an application needs to store state, and that state needs to be in sync with analytics. That's why we introduced hybrid tables. That's why we introduced Unistore as a workload, which is in public preview, and we have millions of jobs running every single day, even in preview. The story of the Mutual of Omaha is very interesting. They are using hybrid tables, or actually they started using hybrid tables in the preview. They loved it. They came to us and said, would you support us in production? Would you let us do it? You see the numbers, 20x better latency, 15x better concurrency. We told Mutual of Omaha, yes, go for it. They're also doing analytical joins on that data relative to data in the marketplace. If you want to learn more about what they're doing, they're here at the conference. Go visit them. So you built an application. How do you ship it? How do you deliver it? And we also want to help with that. There's value prop for you as a developer, but also for consumers of your application. That's where native apps comes in. We've often said native apps is the next generation of collaboration, of data sharing. When we talk about the AI data cloud, this is what we envision, organizations connecting through data products, oftentimes native apps. Native apps went generally available earlier this year. Momentum is good. I'll show you in a minute how that's going. But one of the things that all of you, or many of you, told us is like, I like the native app, I like the container services, but I want them to play well with one another. And today we're also announcing the public preview of the integration of Snowpark Container Services with native apps. We have some partners that are brave. If your logo is on this slide, thank you for being on the bleeding edge. We are aware that you got on board very early on. You helped us develop it, and because of you, we have a better product. But you also have an amazing solution that is available to many of our customers. And these are native apps that are now in the marketplace, which join hundreds of other native apps that are published in the marketplace. Whether it's use cases around financial analysis or ERP integration or identity resolution, as Benoit said, the opportunity and is as far as you can imagine. It's as big as you want it to be. But native apps in a marketplace is not as interesting as if who is using those native apps and what are they doing? And I want you to hear from customers of Snowflake that are leveraging that. From that perspective, I want to say hello to Ashley. Ashley, are you out there?
I'm here. Hello.
How are you? So
good.
You work at
Pizza Hut. Yes.
Yes.
No one out pizzas the Hut.
So what native app are you using?
So we are using Braze.
And tell us more about the impact that it's having for you.
Yeah, so my team is responsible, I'm in marketing, if you couldn't tell. My team is responsible for driving customer growth across the business by delivering relevant experiences, bringing new customers in, driving frequency through media activations, loyalty constructs, and we're using Braze to deliver all of those personalized, relevant experiences. It's a customer engagement platform that delivers email, push notifications, in-app content cards and messaging, and the native app on Snowflake really allows us to do ID resolution, create segments in real time so that we can drive personalization to our customers.
Amazing, thank you. And if you want to hear more, you're going to be at the conference, we can go and ask you a question.
Yeah.
So now let's switch there. We have Pratibha from AT&T.
Hello, good morning, everyone.
How are you doing?
I'm pretty good.
What's your role at AT&T?
Okay, I'm a director at AT&T. It's fantastic to be here, first of all. I lead a data analytics team that delivers substantial AI and Gen AI solutions that provides operational efficiency and cost savings for AT&T.
What application, what native application are you using?
We are using relational AI, which is a cloud-native knowledge graph solution, and we apply that on our data and run graph analytics to primarily detect fraud and insider threat for AT&T. The primary goal is to reduce device loss.
That's amazing. Thank you for joining us. And I'm going to go to this side. Jean-Francois from CN What do you do there?
Thank you, Christian, for the opportunity first, and good morning, everyone. I hope you're enjoying your conference. So I am currently leading our finance transformation and the overall ERP migration at CN Rail.
What native app are you using?
We're using Maxa to automate financial information with business insights.
The Maxa team is happy.
I guess there's a crowd here, yeah. From various operating systems, and it's allowing us to move towards driver-based forecasting while improving our performance management.
That's amazing. Both Maxa team, Jean-Francois will be at the conference if you want to learn more. And thank you for joining us. So you just heard marketers in retail, financial teams in transportation, data and AI teams in telecom. The opportunities are truly unbounded. I talked a lot about building applications, shipping applications. How about we see a demo? And we have the master demo guru here on stage, Jeff Holland. Take it away.
Let's do it. I am so excited to be here this morning for Snowflake Summit. I want to show you all the incredible type of applications that you all can build directly in your Snowflake accounts. My goal over the next few minutes is that if anybody watching thinks that Snowflake is only really good at one set of things here in a box in the corner, let's blow the lid off that box, okay? Now, Christian went over so many announcements, more than I could possibly fit into a single demo. So I figured let's make this a little bit fun. Let's make it challenging for me. I'm gonna let you all decide what I have to build for you live in the next few minutes, okay? Now, all these are around telco and a telco company. I'm gonna give you 3 options. Whatever you wanna see, make some noise, and what you vote for, I gotta do, okay? So the first one, do you wanna see us build an app that uses hybrid tables to monitor infrastructure uptime? Okay, all right. Do you want to see an application that leverages graph analytics with a native app? Oh, wow, okay, this is a high bar. And last, do you want to see an app that uses a custom generative AI model running in Snowpark containers for Gen AI? Oh, this is close. It is between graph analytics and Gen AI, but someone here really wanted the container thing, so we're going to go with that, which is okay. That's all right. I'll have to share the other one on YouTube or something. All right, so let's jump into it. Here's the scenario here. I got to remember how this one starts. Okay, so the scenario here, we are going to be building infrastructure for a cell phone tower. I need to be able to have an application that can take an image like the one you're seeing here and see what a cell phone tower would look like on it. Because normally we have to take a few hours to generate an image, to go through approvals, understand the impact on sightlines. Let's see what it takes to have Snowflake power that. So what I have here in VS Code is a Python script that I have written. This uses a custom diffusion model that can actually use my data that I fine-tuned to generate these images. Now, the only part I want to call out on my code here is this line right here, which is CUDA. For those who aren't familiar, CUDA is the NVIDIA set of libraries and drivers that will superpower my Python code. It will make it run 10 times faster if I can get this running with GPUs. So now I have a challenge as a developer. My code is working. It runs right now on my laptop. It's slow. I don't have GPUs, but it works. What does it take for me to get this code running securely with my data, with GPUs at scale? And with Snowpark containers, it could not be easier. In fact, I'm going to show you the line of Python I have to write to make this work. So here in my notebook, let's go ahead and create this service. So I'm going to create a new service here. Let's give it a name. We'll call this our image gen service. Oh my goodness, I'm shaking with anticipation. I can't contain myself. Oh, pun. Did anyone appreciate that? Contain myself? Yeah, some appreciation. OK, so the last thing I need to do is just define a little bit of metadata here so I can tell it how much it can scale. So here I'm saying, you know what, under load, I'm cool with you spinning up 20 GPUs on demand. So that's all I had to write, that single line of code. This is now spinning up in my Snowflake account those GPUs. This should be up and running now. Could not be easier for me. Now let's see if it works, the moment of truth. I need a UI to surface this model. Just a model isn't that exciting. So here's a Streamlit app. Okay? I pointed this Streamlit app to that service and to that code that's got GPUs there to superpower it. So let's say, hey, I want to build a cell tower here. The only thing this beautiful landscape could really use, the cell phone tower. So let's go ahead and generate this. What's happening now, this is sending my data to that custom model. GPUs are superpowering the performance. Nothing ever leaves my Snowflake account. It could not be easier for me as a developer. And check it out, it worked. Not too bad, right? There's our AI-generated image. So to recap, as a developer, I was able to build a custom model, get it running securely in Snowflake with my data, with GPUs, all on demand. I only pay and manage what I need to use. Pretty cool.
Give it up for Jeff.
It was so easy, Christian, that actually took less time than I thought. And I don't know if you heard the crowd. Some people want to see the other demos. I have the other ones.
You prepared all three, right? You prepared all three.
I could do them. Do you all want to see another amazing demo? I don't want to disappoint them. Yeah.
Only if they're really loud. Do you want to see 2 more demos?
Two more? Let's do it. All 3, baby. Yeah. All right, let's go. OK, so hybrid tables. Let's switch to that one next. For this app, I want to monitor uptime for our infrastructure. I want to be able to build a map like this one. Each one of these nodes represents a cell phone tower. Now, 2 important things for this application to be usable and valuable. The first, I need this to be really, really fast. If something is going down or something wrong, I need to know right away so I can act on it. Now, the second one is I don't need analytics about this infrastructure. I need to know at this point in time, what is the state? Is this online? Is this offline? I need to do transactional type of workloads on this data. Now, normally what you would hear is, oh yeah, building that type of app, Snowflake's not great at transactional applications. So what I now have to do as a builder is go, oh shoot, I've got to go find some other transactional database like Postgres, figure out how to spin it up, manage it, securely integrate it with my data. I don't have to deal with any of that nonsense here. In fact, all I'm going to do is create a special type of table called a hybrid table. This runs in the same database and schema, and I can use it right along my other data, but it's going to give me those 2 things. The first one, super fast, which I'll show you in a second. But the other, you'll notice things here like I'm able to set a primary key so that I can run specific transactions on things like a cell phone tower to update the uptime. So after I create that hybrid table, let's actually simulate it. The energy here is so high. Let's grab a tower. This is San Francisco. This one's just down the block. Let's imagine everyone's so excited about the energy here. We make this tower go offline. So I'm going to simulate that here with this tool on the right. Now watch. Between when I push this offline, which is going to update the hybrid table, to when the map will update, this little blue circle here, watch how fast this is, OK? So it updated, and right away, oh, wow, it was fast. I didn't even notice it was so fast. It finished before I even finished clicking, right? That is hybrid tables. It's so awesome. All right, we're doing the third one, too. I'm one step away from just shouting developers, developers, developers here. I cannot contain myself, truthfully. Let's go with it. Last scenario. I want to understand more of what happens if something like a cell phone tower goes offline. Because what will happen? Will we have an outage in my customer base? Will there be failover? To understand, that's actually a complex question of dependencies and relationships. Now, I want to use something like graph analysis to solve this. But Snowflake does not have graph analysis out of the box. So again, as a builder, what am I left to do? Well, I've got to go first find some graph analysis solution, deal with procurement, security, setup. Again, I don't have to do any of that. Because what makes native apps incredible is it expands the universe of what's possible in Snowflake through the world of incredible technology and innovations that our partners have built. So I'm going to come here to Universal Search that Dash was showing a few minutes ago. And let's just type in here, hey, I need some graph analysis. And you'll notice here it recommends one of our partners, Relational AI. Amazing partner. This gives me some graph analysis solutions. So I can just here and say install directly from the marketplace. Now, what's amazing here is this is not just setting up for me like a username and password for Relational AI or letting me use my Snowflake consumption towards Relational AI. No, this is spinning up in my Snowflake account the entire Relational AI solution so that I can use it securely with my data. So when I want to go run something like weakly connected components, which is a popular algorithm for this type of problem, you'll notice here I'm pointing it to compute in my account. None of my data leaves. I can get up and running right away. I can run this incredible analysis here in this notebook using Relational AI's SDK and technology. So what this gives me at the end of the day is now I have a different flavor of this app, but notice the intelligence I've been able to surface here. The dotted lines, that's where I've got a risk that like, hey, you don't have the right hardware within a 5-mile radius to protect this. Solid lines is more resiliency. I even have like a beautiful 3D rendering of my infrastructure. Now, many of you, I don't know how many of you are in the cell phone tower business, but the same pattern can be used for things like supply chains to understand the impact of what happens if one supplier has an issue. Now again, I've been able to tap into all of this incredible power. None of my data ever left Snowflake, and this could not have been easier for me as a developer. So everything from Snowpark containers for generative AI, native apps to expand the world, and hybrid tables for transactional and low latency data. If you can dream it, you can build it in Snowflake, and I cannot wait to see what all of you build on Snowflake from here. So thank you all so much. Enjoy the rest of the summit.
You need to be careful with Jeff, because if you let him, he'll do demos all day long, as cool as they are. OK, so we help you build applications. We help you ship them and distribute them. How about managing them and running them? We also want to simplify DevOps for you. And we want to look at the entire life cycle of DevOps, from how am I building, how am I testing, how am I deploying, and of course, how am I monitoring? We have lots of capability. Like, I'm not doing justice here. Go attend the rest of the sessions at Summit. There's all sorts of interesting things. Snowpark local testing, Python APIs for a number of things. But let me highlight a few things. Git integration may be one of the most frequent requested capabilities from many of you. And we enable simpler synchronization of both a stage with files that are in Git for both read and write operations. Git integration, as of today, is now in public preview. Yeah. But the, in my mind, personal, coolest thing is Git integration with database change management, where you can specify in a file the desired state of objects in Snowflake. Snowflake identifies what is different from the previous version, and we will alter and incrementally update objects for you. The combination of those two things dramatically simplify DevOps for all of you, and database change management is also in public preview. And now let's talk about the Snowflake CLI. Open source command line tool. The feedback that we're hearing from many of you is fantastic. All sorts of operations can be automated. You can write projects, you can do deployments, you can do it from your favorite IDE, and this is generally available, Snowflake CLI. But there's an aspect that we've heard. Oh, I like Snowpark. I want to move my Spark pipelines to Snowpark. But I want help on troubleshooting and observability in general. And today we are excited to introduce Snowflake Trail. We've had task observability and dynamic tables observability for some time, but now we're bringing it to a different level, observability on broad scope. How do you monitor user code, procedures, functions, whether it's Snowpark, whether it's Snowpark container services, without any agent installation? Every single Snowflake account will have an event table that collects information. Whether it's built-in metrics, for example, we include CPU and memory information for Python, or built-in spans. You can have all your custom spans, will help you do trace propagation, and of course, alerts and notifications. We're also introducing a user interface a log explorer where you'll be able to see the telemetry of the code that you're running in Snowflake all in a single central place. And last but not least, we have many partner integrations. The event table is built in compliance to the Open Telemetry spec. So if you're using Datadog or Observe or Metaplane, all of them can be plugged in. We're extremely excited about Snowflake Trail. That brings the end of the stop around application development. So we're going to shift to AI. But before we do so, I would want you to hear from a Snowflake customer that is already achieving amazing results with Snowflake ML and AI. Please roll the video.
At Zoom, our mission is to be one platform delivering limitless human connections. As you know, Zoom had a very unprecedented growth. We also become a household name. From our neighborhoods to our schools to the colleges to all the way Fortune 500 and 1,000 companies are using it. Early on in our data journey, we had to make a platform bet, and we made a decision to lean on Snowflake platform. So we got the foundations right first, and then next step was to build advanced analytics, machine learning, etc. And more recently, we are nibbling into Gen AI and augmenting our machine learning capability with Gen AI for the outcomes that was previously not possible.
With the speed and security of Snowflake's AI data cloud, it becomes easy for us to build enterprise-grade AI applications for everybody at Zoom. A lot of these business stakeholders are coming to data scientists and analysts to get insights on their customers, get insights from the data. And so that creates a little bit of friction where you don't have the right data at the right time for making decisions faster. With Snowflake's Cortex and Streamlit, I was able to bring in a pre-trained large language model to our data and be able to create the proof of concept within days, where now you can chat with your data in natural language.
I'm an account executive at Zoom. My role is to help companies understand their communications and collaboration goals. In the past, getting insight on my accounts was very tough. I'm now able to ask it a prompt, and it'll give me insights which is actually backed by actual data that I can then use to discuss with my customers.
When we're building enterprise applications, it's super important to focus on two things. One is the governance, right? Data governance. Who has access to what information? And the second part is data security. When you're dealing with a lot of customer data, you want to make sure that it's protected, it's well governed. And that is what Snowflake AI Data Cloud enables us to do. So we can rely and comfortably start using things like Cortex, which enables you to build complex applications that have Gen AI capabilities within the same environment. So that's amazing.
Yeah. Our goal is to make it very easy for you to build, tune, deploy ML models, and very easy to leverage AI with security and with correctness. Everything Sridhar talked about, enterprise AI. But whether you're doing ML or AI, you need a notebook environment. And today we're extremely happy, excited to share that Snowflake notebooks are now in public preview. All clouds. And it has the capabilities you would expect. Integration with Git. That all of you would have said, hey, table stakes. You can also take a notebook and schedule it, which is the foundation of building pipelines and transformations or programmatic training. And we are also today introducing a new container runtime that can back the notebook. So you can still run in the warehouse as you've run most of the computation you have in Snowflake. But if you want more control in the environment, flexibility of instances, or access to GPUs, you can choose a container runtime. And this is public preview now. But a notebook can also be improved and enhanced with AI. So we built an inline copilot where you'll be able to ask to optimize a cell. SQL will give you an option to improve the SQL content of a cell. You can ask to explain a cell, or you can ask questions in the context of a cell. This is in prior preview, but it will continue to make you more productive in the Snowflake notebook experience. Which, speaking of the Snowflake Copilot, it came out in public preview not too long ago, and the results are completely amazing. Over 20,000 users are leveraging Copilot to make you more productive. Feedback is very positive. We are on a journey to incorporate Snowflake Copilot into more services of our product, and we keep enhancing it. For example, we added things like custom instructions where you can specify a prompt that will customize the SQL generation or the type of response that you get. And extremely happy, extremely excited to announce that the Snowflake Copilot is now generally available. Now let's talk about ML, machine learning. You know, remember that thing that we used to do a long time ago? We have a story of one of our customers, Coca-Cola Swire. They're the local bottler for Coca-Cola in 13 states. They give drinks to distribute drinks to 31 million customers. And they are leveraging Snowpark ML to improve their route planning. And they have millions of dollars of savings in the results that they have. That's one example. We have many more, many of you in the room that are getting great results. We also want to simplify the training and the operations of ML. But when we talk about training, one of the aspects of training is data preparation. How many of you use Pandas as a library to do data preparation? Looks like only Benoit. Nobody else? Pandas is one of the most popular libraries, and it's awesome until the machine you're running it on runs out of steam. And that's why today, with a lot of excitement, we're introducing the Snowpark Pandas API. It is Pandas compatible, but it's distributed, so you can have as much data as you want, and your code is compatible to what you have on your laptop. It's a massive productivity boost, and this is now public preview for all of you to leverage this capability as part of your data preparation on either a pipeline or preparing for a machine learning training operation. But Pandas API joins a number of other capabilities we've had, pre-processing and training on the ML side. All of this went generally available at the beginning of this calendar year. But you also said, I want to be able to manage my features, so we introduced the feature store. This is currently in public preview, and we've added a UI where you can go and automatically see feature pipeline governance all in an integrated experience. But it's not just about features. You also want to manage your models. That's why we introduced the model registry, which is now generally available. Very important. And it helps you both in training and in inference. Whether it was trained inside of Snowflake or outside. The feature store helps you for both training and inference. And similar to what we did with the feature store, we added a UI on the model registry that helps you manage models and manage versions. All in all, we want you to be able to do the entire lifecycle of ML inside of Snowflake without copying data out. But that also applies to AI, which is obviously top of mind for many of us. You saw in Jeff's demo SPCS, we want to enable the maximum flexibility with container services. but we also want to simplify the most common use cases, and that's where Cortex AI comes in. Cortex AI is the fully managed service where we host top-tier large language models, and we make it easy for all of you to build applications and deliver value to your business. We have the example of Vimeo, who takes video transcriptions and uses Cortex for sentiment analysis and summarization, and that informs content and marketing strategies for them. We also have an amazing set of partners, many of you in the room here, that are already building on Cortex AI, and not only deliver solutions for better products from our partners, but downstream from customers of our partners. Lots of innovation enabled by Cortex AI. But let's look at Cortex in a little bit more detail. We think of it in 3 different layers. We have models at the foundation, we have chat, and we have studio. So models, Benoit covered in detail. We have many foundation models. We have task-specific and embedded models, open source, commercial. We want to give you, again, access to tier models. And of course, Arctic, our own model, covered by Sridhar, covered by Benoit. So I will not spend too much time beyond saying we are focused on efficiency and enterprise use cases. But sometimes, you may want to modify one of those models to better suit the needs of your organization. And that is why today we're introducing Cortex Fine-Tuning. It'll help you refine a model behavior and apply either your data or your industry knowledge into that model, that it gets factored into the responses. Very simple. One command API, you give a base model, you give your data, and you get a model back. And this is now in public preview. But let's talk about Studio. Studio is the no-code interface for machine learning and AI. Our goal is to make ML, AI as easy as possible for all of you. Lots of capabilities here. You can see some functions, both powered by ML, powered by AI, that you can do forecasting, classification, translation, sentiment. But I think the best way to understand all of this is to see it in action, and that's why we have Amanda Kelly on stage. Let's welcome Amanda.
Hi, I'm Amanda. We're getting towards the end, so can we get the energy up really quickly for a couple last demos? Thank you, thank you. All right, I have a question for all of you. How many of you have been asked to accelerate AI in your organization? Don't be shy. There has to be at least a couple of you. Benoit has, okay, great. Not just me, Benoit has as well. All right, well, let's look at some ways that you can use today to more efficiently deliver AI solutions to your company. All right, going back to our telco example, our support operations process usually goes something like this. Customers write into our customer support team, the team then has to manually review, categorize, and then take action on those tickets. That can take days, prevents us from responding quickly to our customers. It's slow, it's frustrating, and we want to do something to move faster. So let's start by taking a look at our support ticket table in a Snowflake notebook. All right, so what we can see here is that there are multiple product lines that people write in about. These requests, tickets have often various lengths and types. There's different preferences that they have. All of this makes it really challenging to quickly identify the issue and react. Now, rather than trying to write a complex rules engine or asking our teams to manually categorize these tickets, we can use LLMs, which are designed to handle complex language tasks like this. So I'm going to use a Snowflake Cortex function, and we'll just look really quickly here to see the ones that are available. All right, with the complete function, I can use top-tier LLMs to run advanced language processing tasks against rows in my table without any complex orchestration. Now, before I get to the LLM, I first am going to create a quick little prompt, which includes some guidance from our business teams on the categories that they would like our LLM to choose from. Now, to automate this categorization process, we're going to use Mistral Large, which is one of the most capable LLMs in the industry. And it's really that simple. I know it didn't seem that dramatic in the demo, but what we just did here was really quite magical, right? Cortex very quickly ran complex language tasks such as automating the tagging of categories, and we can drive operational efficiencies with this without having to set up any external services or manage any infrastructure. Now, thank you. Whoever's just clapping right there, thank you. That was special. That's pretty cool. It worked just like that. All right. Now, I got that proof of concept working in just a few lines of code. But as I start to think about production, as many of you will, I need to consider other factors, like the fact that we will need to run this job on millions of records. Now, an advanced general purpose LLM is not ideal for this, as it can really drive up our costs. And I know my boss, and also our CFO, is not going to be too happy about that. So, to address these costs, I'm going to try running the same tasks, but this time I'm going to use a different model from Mistral. I'm going to use the 7B, which is smaller in both size and cost. Again, just using my Cortex complete function, and I'm grabbing the Mistral 7B model. Now, let's take a look and compare the larger model to the 7B response. Okay. We can see here that the smaller model isn't quite as good. The larger model here is better at following instructions and having consistent outputs, which is ideal for driving further automation from these results. But never fear. Since this is a specialized task, I can fine-tune or teach the smaller model to get very good at doing this task. This way, I'm going to get the cost benefits of a smaller model with the accuracy of the larger model. And I can actually use the larger model to help create the data set, which again, is going to save me a lot of time rather than having to do the manual annotations with the team. All right, and then, just like with other models, we're going to have to split this into training and evaluation data sets. But I can do this using a very convenient function available with Snowflake ML. All right, now that I have my training, my evaluation, I'm going to head on over to Snowflake AI and ML Studio. Now, as Christian just showed, this is a no-code interface that streamlines the LLM customization and AI app development. Now, for this, I'm going to use a tool for creating a custom LLM. Okay, to start fine-tuning my LLM, we've got my base model. I've already selected my role in warehouse. I'm going to go in, and I'm going to select where to store this, and then I'm going to come up with a super creative name for my model. All right. Now, the first step is we're going to need to select that training data that I created in the previous step. So we're going to find it. Here it is. You can see my training and also my evaluation steps. So we're going to take the training one. Looked good. I'm going to go to the next step. Now, I need to give a little more information to Cortex by pointing it at the right column. So the prompt column, we've cleverly named prompt for me, so I can't get it wrong in the demo. We're going to select that right there. Next, we need to select our completion column, which is called response, a little bit trickier. All right, and then finally, I just need to select the evaluation data set, which here we go. You can preview it, it looks good, and there. This is my configuration. I'm gonna click the button, and just like that, with only a few quick steps, I've kicked off our fine-tuning process. That's impressive, thank you. Yes, thank you for people who are clapping. All right. Now, for the size of this data, it can take up to 30 minutes to fine-tune this. So go ahead, grab a coffee, maybe check some emails. Just kidding. Nobody actually got up, but I was going to say sit back down. Sit back down, right? I actually went ahead and fine-tuned a model in advance. So we're going to go right back over here to my notebook. And again, just like all the LLMs I showed you using before, we're just going to use our Cortex complete function, and we've grabbed the model name here that we just fine-tuned. All right. And now we can see that our smaller model is actually able to generate answers that are accurate and consistent at about 1/10 of the cost. Ah, there we go. People like saving money. This is great. All right. Now, since it was so easy to run LLMs and batch operations against our data, there are many, many more automations that our team could be doing. Let's think about how we could craft some responses to go back out to these customers. So, first, what I'm going to do is just very quick analysis. We're going to graph the data, and OK, we can see that roaming fees, by far, are the largest category that our customers have problems with. So in order to automate these responses, I'm going to create a little Streamlit app inline that's going to make it easy for me to iterate over this prompt and create these customized responses. So what we're going to do here in the prompt is not only are we going to try to respond to this, but we're also going to promote a new plan. Our new international travel plan that's going to help customers never have to worry about using their cell phones abroad, which, as a frequent traveler myself, I would actually appreciate. And just because this is going so well, I want to tempt fate, and we're going to say, add in some happy emojis. All right. Now, we've selected our category here, And I'm going to use Snowflake Arctic for this model, but I could have used any of the other ones. Could be using Llama 3 in this case. And what this is going to do is it's going to create these personalized, tailored responses based on the user's requested communication channel, whether that's text message or email. So there we go. Yeah. Maybe too many emojis, but we could iterate on that again kind of in the prompt. But with just that push of a button, we've created those personalized messages for our customers. And if we had a little more time today, we could show you making even more automations. Like we could be writing a function to schedule these messages to send out to our customers. But those are going to have to wait for next time. So as you've just seen, with Snowflake Cortex, I have the flexibility to choose a pre-trained, state-of-the-art model or customize my own to best align to my task and cost goals. With any of these options, my data stays secure, and the custom models are only made available to the users to which I grant access. So, if you haven't already, try out Snowflake Cortex in a Snowflake notebook today. Christian, back to you.
Give it up for Amanda, thank you. So we talked about models in Cortex AI, we talked about Studio. But one of the most common use cases and need is chat. I assume many of you have started trying or have built or are in the process of figuring out how to build chat, because it's one of the killer applications of AI for us in the data world. How do I expand access to not just the analysts and the data team, but to all my business users, right? And how do I build apps? So extremely delighted to introduce today Cortex Analyst. So, okay, all of you are like, hey, what is that? Cortex Analyst is our construct that will make it trivial for you to create a chatbot against structured data. You will be able to specify a semantic model that indicates how tables are related. You pass in that semantic metadata, and we will give you, through Cortex, the entire experience to truly have a chatbot, ask questions, we'll generate SQL, you can see the SQL, and execute it. And at the end of the day, that's the foundation for an experience for your business users, your non-technical audience. Big part of the focus for us is focus on performance, focus on accuracy of how this is built. It's very easy to build a chatbot that is mostly right, but who wants to roll out an application that is mostly right? But there's another set of use cases where you may not want to generate SQL, which is how do you create a chat experience around text data? Whether it's a descriptions column in one of your table or maybe some PDFs, we want to make it easy for you to build a chatbot against that type of data. And that's what we're introducing today, Cortex Search. Cortex Search is exactly that, the service, fully managed infrastructure that will help you index text data and create a chat experience against it. This is in public preview, well, actually very soon public preview, but our goal is to simplify the process of building a chatbot on text data. In true Snowflake fashion, we've abstracted a lot of the details. We've gotten that message of Benoit here on simplicity, 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 and we simplified until we could simplify no more. We made it so easy that we think anyone can build a chatbot. We've made it so easy that we think anyone can build a chatbot. We made it so easy that we think anyone can build a chatbot. I can keep saying it, but how about, do you want to see it? So if my statement is true, that anyone can build a chatbot, we're going to go a little bit out of the usual. We're going to give you a demo, but the demo is one of you. So when you were walking into the stage, there was a process to try to identify who would be a volunteer for doing a demo. And Alex, do we have a our subject. Please welcome, I don't know her name, to the stage. We're going to get her mic'd up.
All right.
What is your name?
Alicia.
Alicia. Where do you work?
Moss Adams in Seattle.
Okay, Seattle. What's your favorite Snowflake feature?
I've logged on to it this many times, so this is going to be...
Logged on to Snowflake very few times. Have you ever built a chatbot?
No.
No, this is getting better. When you woke up this morning, did you know that you were going to be doing a demo in front of thousands of people, live streamed to the world, and recorded so it can be rewatched forever?
Absolutely not.
No pressure.
I have a limit of 6 people in a room, so this is not working for me.
You're doing great.
All right.
Okay, so here's what we're going to try. We're going to create a Cortex search service.
Okay.
And let's get the screens. Here you are seeing this is Cortex Studio. And we're going to say create a Cortex search service.
Okay.
I'm going to let you around here.
Oh, whoops. Got to
go back. That's the,
Yeah.
oh, wait. That was the Cortex playground. It's okay.
I touched
So let's do it
earlier.
here.
There you go.
Great. And all that you have to do is specify a database and a schema. We're going to do the effort of indexing, say, Cortex AI and do Summit. We prepare that for you. Give it a name. Your name if you want. Alicia. Chatbot, okay? We could index tables and views, but we're going to go and do a stage. If you scroll up, you can do go.
Really?
Yeah. Now, okay, we have 2 stages. This is literally our stages with PDFs documents. If you click on the employee assistant, we have a larger number of documents because we're tight on time. We're going to go, let's do this phone setup.
Okay.
Do next. Default on lag is fine.
Really? Done?
Yeah, and you are creating a chatbot right now, whether you know it or not.
Well, I am.
So what's happening?
All right.
Let it be. So what's happening? Snowflake is looking at these documents, extracting the text, creating vector embeddings, creating a search index, and making it available for you to be able to chat with the data.
Oh, sorry.
Wait, where do you go?
I wanted to read the documentation.
Oh, she wanted to read the documentation. Okay, so here, completely off script. So this is the playground where you can connect to a search service. Here we can see what's available. Your service, let me see, the database, Cortex AI, Summit. Your service is not yet created, so we're going to have to give it a second.
This one and the other one?
You're reading the documentation. We're trying it.
I want to know what's happening under the surface.
She triggered the creation, so Cortex AI, Summit.
Yeah, I think that
we still don't have it. Let me see, we have the right. I'm going to refresh this. You're seeing it as live as it gets.
There it is.
Do it again. Yeah, we can go all the way and create it.
Yeah.
Let's see, if this doesn't work, no. Want to try it again? Yeah. Elise, I'm looking at timekeeper.
I like to
So, okay, let's do it again. Let's go from the beginning. You have the default there. Let's select database schema.
We're going to do Snowflake or Cortex?
Cortex AI.
Okay. And Summit?
Summit.
All right.
Give it a name. Maybe your other one gets created in the background.
All right. Second try.
Alicia's second try.
All right. Stage. Let's go.
Let's go.
Phone.
Phone setup.
Next.
Let's do it. And don't hit back. Oh, no, actually, that one would have been fine. I don't know what happens. Okay. Let's leave it there and complete.
All right.
What this is doing, I was saying, it'll crawl the documents, and it'll create effectively a search service, but it's powered by an LLM. In this case, we're using Mistral Large, and you will see a chatbot being powered by these documents. Okay, now you did it.
All right.
Yeah. Go into the LLM playground here. And so these documents where you, how do you configure your phone for your work environment? So you can say, well, you can say hello, or you can say, how do I set up, I don't know, Slack on my phone? Please. This is completely unscripted, so I have no idea what Alicia is going to do. I don't know. Tell me how to set a Slack on my phone.
I noticed that Amanda was polite to the.
Oh, please. So,
Said,
okay, so
please.
Alicia is being polite with
Yeah.
the Alicia Second Try bot, which is giving you all the steps. And interestingly enough, if you click, you see that there's an attribution, and if you click on this document, you see which document contributed to that context, and it gives you snippets for you to know that this is not a chatbot making up information. Alicia, how about you ask another question? Think of a social media app. How do I set up something that probably your work environment does not have instructions for?
So this is not work.
Not work. Keep it PG rated. How do I prevent my child from using the internet?
I can't figure that out.
And it tells you I don't know that answer, which is awesome.
I couldn't figure it out either.
And last, okay, let me try one last thing
Give me a
in the
good
interest of time. We had pre-created the full employee assistant, the longer list of documents. This is how the onboarding and handbook for a company. This is a bigger set of documents. Ask now questions in a work environment. Things like, I don't know, travel policy, expense policy. But very important to the message from Sridhar and Benoit on Enterprise AI. You get answers, you get citations and snippets, and if it's not in your data, it's not going to get an answer.
Hold on.
So what are you writing?
What are they?
What are the holidays for 2024? What are the paid holidays?
Holidays. All right, that makes all the difference.
Yeah, Alicia is completely on a vector we would have not predicted. There are 12 public holidays in 2024.
Is this your policy?
Yeah,
or
click.
is it like, because obviously you don't have my work.
No, it's not your work. We don't have your documents. We treat customers' data very seriously. But you get the information came from this.
All right.
Alicia.
Thank you.
I want to say thank you.
That's pretty good. Thanks, guys.
One last question. Yeah. On a scale of 1 to 10, where 10 is easiest, how easy was it to build a chatbot?
I'm concerned that we may need to change jobs because this is getting really easy. And so.
This is going to be really easy. Thank you. Yeah, give it up for Alicia. Completely unplanned, unrehearsed, but that was the goal. Someone that has logged onto Snowflake 10 times just created a chatbot with enterprise guarantees. The possibilities are enormous. We see all of you now giving access to data to everyone in the organization, creating applications, creating experiences to all types of roles that may have not been thinking about data as a North Star for how they conduct their functions. But we also are starting to see interesting, more complex use cases happening with Cortex AI. This screenshots, what you see here, is Cortex AI. It's someone trying to create not just a simple request response, but more elaborate workflows where you can have multi-step reasoning, where you can have calling APIs, where you can have reflection, where the result of an LLM, you feed it back. And you have our commitment that we're looking at what you're building, agentic workflows and other things, and we're going to make them easier for you to develop, and also we're going to go leverage it in how we give you technology, Snowflake Copilot and other examples. We have a lot of innovation happening, and we think that the use cases are getting richer and richer, and not only you're going to appeal to different personas in your organization, but you're going to be able to appeal to all sorts of interesting solutions that will provide automation to your organization. This is the journey that we just took. We went through 3 main areas. How do we strengthen your data foundation? We talked about data on your terms, unstructured, batch, streaming. We talked about discovery and governance, everything in Horizon. And of course, in case it was not clear that we're accelerating AI, look at what Alicia did. Like, unprompted, she created a chatbot against PDF documents. Who would not want that capability? We're incredibly excited to innovate on your behalf, to do more on your behalf, so that you bring the power of data, the power of AI to your organization. Our announcements today are too many to individually recap. We're incredibly, incredibly excited to help you lead your organization in this era of enterprise AI and continue finding ways to get more value and insight out of your data. Our commitment to all of you is to continue our relentless pace of innovation. I hope all of you walk out of this keynote inspired, but also excited about what you can do, and there's so much more in the conference. But as far as this keynote goes, there is one last announcement that we have for you. It's something many of you have been asking for quite some time. If everything worked out the right way, as of a few minutes ago, all of your accounts will have gotten an update. And you tell me if you like it. Enjoy Snowflake Summit.